Hi, I'm Mark Duxbury. Softly is a weekly prose podcast. This time, John Bitumen. Imagine a foggy landscape laced with that quiet determination to exist outside the world's polite rhythms. This is where you'll find John Bitumen. Bitumen was a builder of roads, yes, but more than that. He was a builder of lines of poetry drafted in soot on rock, lacing through the rutted road he'd spent his life repaving, unpicking, every inch a battle with earth and nature. A poet and a roadmaker, tangled up in the mist and mud of 19th century Somerset. He was a man who saw words as the material of all great works. Bitumen's poetry wasn't just about roads, though. It was the road itself. His verses stutter out and sway like wagons on the lanes he laid. Bitumen wrote of life as it was lived out on the rough, hoof-beaten surfaces he shaped. He captured the struggle of things breaking down and being made anew, the stones chipping, splitting, grinding beneath the wheel, and somehow in that breaking, becoming whole. Take, for instance, his most famous lines from The Paved Man, a kind of manual for the lost, the wanderer. Mark the stones, each crevice pressed under axle and boot, death and birth of ways, every pathway borne, returning with progress's stealth and zeal. This is Bitumen at his best, speaking to the frailty of every human structure. After all, Bitumen's life itself was something of a road under construction. Born to the bleak expanses of the Mendips, he grew up pulling his hands through gravel and shale, filling and shaping trenches with calloused hands, learning from the earth itself. The art of persistence. He left no memorials, no grand portraits, only miles of worn earth and footfalls of all those who have long since forgotten his name. Bitumen understood beauty in wear, poetry in any constant erosion. His work was raw, unsentimental, the kind of verse that would likely be passed over its time for being too artisan. But here's the truth. His poetry was necessary as his roads were. He had the voice of a man who walked alone, whose friends were clouds of dirt and grit, who knew that a good road is one you barely notice because it carries you forward effortlessly.